We are so excited to bring on the wonderful Jenn Uhen. Woohoo! Oh, I almost did the wrong. Hello, my dear. We're so thrilled to have you on board. How are you?
Oh, doing well. I'm rocking my Andy and Aaron RBG inspired necktie. And then Barbara ran off to get her beautiful necklace. And
I did.
You know, we're just twinning this morning.
I'm in the middle. I feel compelled to have to go buy a real big statement piece. I don't own any. So, but I will.
You will. Aldo is the place to go, my friend. So listen, Jenn, you've done many things. You are an owner. You are also, you've done other things with other people. You've had work wives before and all of that. And you are now, you just launched the Pledgettes. And we're excited to hear a little bit more about what that is, because oftentimes we as women and men, we do not want to talk about making money moves. It is almost as if it's a bad word to talk about our finances or know them as a whole. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how it came to be. I know that you and your husband were watching the Handmaid's Tale and in that discovered, oh my gosh, we need to know more about who we are financially and the wealth gaps that occur. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, and Barbara, I love at the beginning you shared the Credit Act, the Equal Credit Act of 1974 allowed us women to get our own credit cards. And you see how that has already changed the playing field. I'm not going to say level the playing field, because it certainly has not, but it has helped us progress to where we are today, because now what I'm hearing banks do, which I'm so grateful for, is when women are getting married, banks are encouraging women not to close all their bank accounts and to leave a bank account open, because money gives us choice. It gives us freedom and flexibility. It gives us power and control. And so for your mom to be left with nothing, and
nothing. She did nothing. And the thing is, she finally got a Sears card. And do you know, because another woman was on the other side and they gave her a Sears card, and it's because she has a boy named Bobby Brooks. So they were able to slip it through. That's the only reason why she got a credit card in the 70s, at the time when she was trying to do what she can, you know, in raising my brother and I.
Well, how awesome for that woman working at Sears. Love for her.
Here's the Roebuck.
And she didn't even know it.
Right?
Totally. Yeah, so the Pledgettes came to be, I was binge watching The Handmaid's Tale last summer. My husband would come home and be like, you need to slow down. Like, you cannot binge watch this show. But I saw, like, you know, it was so crazy. One of the first things they do is they turn off all the women's credit cards and all the access to money. And then, you know, the whole series goes into like these psychological effects of like, oh, wait, we're not going to teach our daughters to read anymore because they don't need to know how to read. And, you know, mind blowing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to end up on the wall. Handmaid's Tale feels like it could really happen. I need to do something about it.
Wow.
And so I grew up in a family that openly talked about money. And thank God for both my parents. They talked about money with my brothers, my sisters, and I all the same. And, you know,
wow.
What's great is, like, as you said, since we don't talk about money, you know, we're limited in our resources on where we learn about it. We don't learn about it at school. So most of that comes from our families. And I'm grateful, like, both my parents had side hustles, and now 4 out of 5 of us kids have side hustles. And they weren't called side hustles in the 80s, but
right.
They were.
It was just a part-time job. They were called part-time jobs.
Legit, they are. So
they are. My mom still sells Mary Kay 40 years later, makes a few extra $100 every month doing that. And so we openly talked about money, and that really helped me make some good right time, right place choices in my 20s. Thank you, compound interest and the magic of that. I bought my first condo a year out of college, rented the 2nd bedroom to my high school friend. And by the time I met my now husband, I had bought and sold 4 pieces of real estate.
Oh my goodness.
I had contributed at least to get the company matched to my 401k every year. It was all of these money moves that I made in my early 20s because of these happenstance, right time, right place conversations that gave us freedom and flexibility in our 30s. We took a year off and traveled the country in an Airstream travel trailer.
I love that. I love that story.
We've started businesses. We've bought businesses. We have real estate investments. My husband and I, every month we have State of Our Union talks where we talk about, like, where is all the money? How are we spending our time? Is it values aligned? Is it getting us closer to our goals? And I love, Barbara, that you have your dog right there. Back in March in our State of the Union, my husband added dog to the agenda. And the next month we adopted a dog.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
it all comes to the table, and this is where the decisions are made.
Yes.
I love that. I love that concerted effort, though. Like this idea, you know, I know for me, I grew up in a very traditional household where my dad was the moneymaker. My mom was a stay-at-home, took care of the kids, helped raise us. And so I never got like what you got, this idea of, you know, let's talk about finances, because it was always my dad making the decisions. My dad passed. Gosh, it's been 11 years now. And it was the hardest time that my mom went through trying to figure out how to even, you know, balance a checkbook and pay bills and figure out how to navigate. I am so proud of my mom to say that she crash coursed it like a boss and just has come out on the other side and has just done so well. But it's this idea of, if we teach our ladies, you know, and our girls, you know, young, it's just even more and more comfort level that then they can step in and create awesome assets like you've done in your, you know, in your 20s, and now celebrating, kicking back and traveling in an Airstream. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I think, so when I think about all of the incredible women at Second Act, I was talking to this group of experienced women the other day, and they were shocked at the number of early professionals that are 1099 employees. Because for women that are later in their career, they started at big companies, they started at big firms that offered employee benefits like pensions, 401k matches, health insurance. They had built-in networking, they had built-in professional development and training. And if you're a 1099 employee, you have to seek that out yourself. Your new manager is not going to get that for you. So we need communities like the Pledgettes, like Second Act, and so many others who are going to like provide networking, education, training, support, community. Because even those early professionals that are taking full-time jobs, if they're staying there 18 to 30 months, those employers are not investing as much in the growth and career trajectory as they would for these career employees.
Well, and I think this is something, Lupe and I have talked about this way back. We have so much on our plates that we want to do for our ladies. And one of them was making money moves and doing, you know, pre-COVID, we had put together just a ton of different workshops that we can give. And we need to do this. We need to do this sooner than later, especially with what's happening now. We don't know, some of us, where our funds are coming from. Some of us are taking on multiple jobs if we can. And that's the 1099ers. So you may have a career right now. Maybe you're furloughed, so you're doing 1099. So we need to talk more about this. And that book, Jenn Sincero's book, You're a Badass at Money. What is it? Yes. We need to talk more about our finances. And so if there's one tip you can give them before we leave today, what would it be? Because we're going to engage you again.
I love this. I challenge everyone to have a conversation about money. So if you are nervous about how to start, believe me, there are some members of the Pledgettes who are like, the first handful of conversations with my partner about money were rocky. but they keep getting better. We've got to keep trying.
Yes.
I have a number of conversation starters on my Instagram, like, what would you do if you won the lottery? What's your first money memory? There's a lot of safe ways that we actually do talk about money that can help us go deeper with money. And I also encourage you, talk to your daughters, talk to your nieces, talk to your mentees about money, because the more we normalize this taboo topic, the more successful we will be.
Okay. I feel like we got to have a conversation about this now, Barb.
Yeah, we're going to jump on a phone call.
We are ladies together
next week and talk about this. And okay, so as we come to a close, and by the way, you offered our ladies the chance to take one of your events for $1 using Second Act $1, the number 1, as the promo code. And you can bet we're going to take it, right, Lupe?
Absolutely.
So we have to ask one last question because it's Thursday. What was your favorite band in the 80s?
Oh my God. So many. My first concert was Huey Lewis and the News.
You have so many awesome songs.
I love it. Okay, Lupe, what was your first concert?
Well, you know what? Again, traditional household. I didn't go to concerts, but I loved Duran Duran. I know you can take it up with my mom. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, so mine was the Jackson 5 at Mile High.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Concert.
That was cool.
Senior in high school, and I went with all my Foxmore Casual friends. Yes, I worked at Foxmore Casuals, which was also part of Casual Corner. Well, Jenn, we loved having you. We seriously are going to have a conversation with you. We're going to give you a buzz and jump on a line with you to talk about doing a program. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
And have a beautiful day.
You too.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.